This is a Cryptomeria, Cryptomeria japonica, and the cultivar is Black Dragon. And I actually bought this at Lowe's, I think, and they're fairly common now. It's somewhat of a dwarf version of Cryptomeria, although they can get pretty large. I think maybe 15 feet tall. And the interesting thing about them is they have very dense foliage and dark green foliage. And in the wintertime, Cryptomeria can bronze a lot, but I believe this one tends to just darken and not go as yellow as the other Cryptomerias. And I kind of had avoided buying this cultivar of Cryptomeria for a while because Cryptomeria does have so many problems in Middle Tennessee with tip blight. I'm not sure what type of tip blight it is. Maybe it's Phomopsis, or maybe it's a Cercospora or something like that. And this is a slower growing cultivar than the Yoshino and the Radicans Cryptomerias that you can find. And I thought that maybe since it's slower growing, it wouldn't be able to overcome the blight, but I decided to buy one anyway because I've seen a few around. Some neighbors have some and they seem to be doing somewhat okay. So we'll see. I planted it in a spot that doesn't get as much sprinkler water overhead, and also it's going to get some morning sunlight to dry out the foliage. And we'll see if that's enough to counteract the fungus. The foliage is a little more compact than normal Cryptomeria, and this is one of the few green Cryptomerias I have now because all the others turned brown during the extreme cold snap. And that's another negative against Cryptomerias. They're not as cold hardy as you would like. And I guess when extreme cold comes, that kind of pushes them over the edge. So Tennessee maybe a little on the northern edge of Cryptomeria. There are a lot around here, and I think all the damaged ones will eventually recover, but just something to keep in mind. There are so many different cultivars of Cryptomeria, and I'm adding to my Cryptomeria collection because the roots of this plant are resistant to a certain fungus called Armillaria root rot. And so I want to build up the inventory of trees I have that are resistant to that because I know that fungus is in my soil. So that's one major positive to Cryptomeria. And they generally do well in this climate and this soil. The only negative is the tip blight.